All right, so get it's April, right? Springtime, you'd think?
Yeah.
But the story we're diving into today, it takes us straight to like this icy office situation.
Right.
Over 100 jobs are on the line.
Wow.
And our narrator, Vamsi Krishna, he's right there in the middle of it.
Oh, man.
So today we're going to break down like all of it.
Okay.
The nail-biting moments,
Yeah.
the twists and turns,
Hmm.
the stuff that makes you wonder if maybe fate has a plan after all,
Interesting.
you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
What really jumped out at me right off the bat was the title, Whispers of Dawn in the Night.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost poetic, isn't it?
It is. It's very evocative.
Yeah.
It really makes you think.
It does.
Like, even in the darkest times, there's a new day coming, you know?
Yeah, what do you think it means in the context of this story?
Well,
You think foreshadowing?
it could definitely be foreshadowing. Vamsi and his colleagues are facing this huge unknown.
Right.
But the title, it's like it hints that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Sets up this sense of anticipation right from the start.
Yeah, and you are thrown right into the action. I mean, you
Yeah.
find out that Vamsi, he's already unhappy at work. He's actively looking for a new job.
Wow.
That takes some serious initiative, don't you think? Especially when everyone else is like freaking out.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be tough.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where you kind of saw the writing on the wall like that?
Oh, yeah. Definitely, I have. And it's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you're mentally preparing to move on,
Yeah.
but there's still that nagging uncertainty.
Right.
It's like you're making plans, but you're walking on eggshells at the same time.
It's like that.
Yeah.
And Vamsi, he even talks about this nagging feeling, like a sense of foreboding.
Mhm.
Do you think that's just like normal anxiety, or could it be something more like intuition, playing a role in our careers?
Well, that's a fascinating question.
Yeah.
We often dismiss our gut feelings as just being irrational,
Mm-hmm.
but I think intuition can be really powerful,
Yeah.
especially in the workplace.
Yeah.
It's about picking up on those subtle cues, those
Mm.
unspoken dynamics that can tell you a lot about what's really going on.
Yeah.
It might be a change in your boss's demeanor, a shift in the company's priorities,
Okay.
or even just this feeling that things are off.
Like a sixth sense, almost.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Now let's talk about Dilip,
Okay.
Vamsi's colleague and confidant.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that they keep this formal sir address, even though they're clearly close.
Right.
Why do you think that is? What does it tell us about their dynamic?
Well, it could be a cultural norm,
Right.
a sign of respect that goes beyond their personal bond.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it's a way of navigating the complexities of their workplace relationship.
Mm.
They can be friends and still acknowledge that professional hierarchy.
Right, like they're drawing a line,
Yeah,
but not letting it define their whole interaction.
exactly.
And even in the midst of all this stress, they share these little moments of normalcy, like
Yeah.
their coffee ritual.
Oh, yeah. I think those small routines can be surprisingly important at work, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I think they create a sense of stability and connection,
Okay.
especially during times of change or uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Even small rituals like grabbing coffee together,
Right.
having a quick chat before a meeting,
Yeah.
it can really help build camaraderie,
Mm-hmm.
provide a much-needed sense of normalcy when everything else feels chaotic.
Yeah. They're like those little anchors that keep you grounded.
Exactly.
And then there's this moment that really stood out to me.
Okay.
So Gila's breakdown in the restroom.
Oh, yeah.
It's a brief scene, but it's really emotionally powerful.
It is. It's a stark reminder that everyone is dealing with their own anxieties, even if they don't show it outwardly.
That's true.
It makes you think about how we can be more attuned to the unspoken anxieties of those around us.
Yeah.
Sometimes just acknowledging those unspoken anxieties can make a world of difference.
So true. It's like a wake-up call to pay attention,
To those subtle signs that people might be struggling.
for sure.
Now we learn that Dilip has a lot riding on his job.
Yeah.
He's the sole breadwinner for his family.
Okay.
So that adds a whole new layer of pressure to this whole situation, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It highlights the fact that job loss isn't just about professional setback.
Right.
It can have a profound impact on people's lives, their families, their financial well-being.
For sure.
And it also raises the question of how we can be more supportive of colleagues
Yeah.
who are facing these kinds of challenges.
It's a good reminder that everyone's situation is different.
Exactly.
We can't always assume what others are going through.
Nope.
And then, bam, twist number one.
Okay.
Vamsi gets a call from IBM.
Wow.
Remember that
Yeah.
feeling of relief
Oh,
when you land a new opportunity after a period of uncertainty?
that's amazing.
It's like a huge weight lifted.
Totally.
And yet Vamsi hesitates to tell Dilip,
Mm.
knowing his friend might be laid off. What do you think is going through his mind at that moment?
I mean,
Is it pure empathy?
it's probably a mix of both.
Okay.
It's a natural human response to feel a bit hesitant
Yeah.
to share good news when someone close to you is going through a tough time.
Right.
But also speaks to Vamsi's character.
Okay.
He's clearly concerned about his friend's well-being,
Hmm.
and he doesn't want to add to his stress.
Yeah, he doesn't want to rub it in.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like he wants to celebrate, but he also wants to be sensitive to what his friend's going through.
Right. It's a tough balance.
It makes you think about how we can better balance our own success with empathy for others who might be struggling.
Yeah, that's such an important point, especially in a competitive work environment.
Right, like how can we lift each other up without, accidentally stepping on anyone's toes?
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot between celebrating your own achievements and being mindful of the challenges others might be facing.
Exactly.
You can be happy for yourself and still acknowledge the struggles of those around you.
Okay, so then we get to the biggest shocker in this whole story.
What's that?
Dilip gets laid off.
Oh, no.
But wait for it. He also got a job offer from IBM.
Wow. What are the chances?
I know, right? It's almost too perfect.
It really is.
Makes you think about fate and, serendipity in our careers.
Absolutely. We like to think we have control over our professional paths,
Right.
but sometimes life throws these curveballs
Yeah.
that completely defy logic.
It's like the universe had a plan all along.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But, okay, let's not get too carried away with the happy ending here because
Yeah.
we can't forget the reality of the situation.
Yeah,
Over 100 people are losing their jobs.
that's true.
And while Vamsi and Dilip's story, it's incredibly heartwarming,
Yeah.
it's important to acknowledge that their experience isn't everyone's reality.
You're absolutely right. Individual stories are powerful, but they don't always reflect the broader challenges that contribute to these situations.
It's a good reminder to stay grounded and keep things in perspective.
For sure.
And speaking of perspective,
Yeah,
the company's decision to offer this generous severance package,
right.
it raises some interesting questions about the ethical and legal aspects of layoffs. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, severance packages are often seen as a way for companies to sort of soften the blow of job losses.
Okay.
Provide a financial cushion during that transition period
Yeah.
and help people find new jobs.
Okay.
Legally, companies are often required to provide certain notice periods or compensation when they lay off employees.
Right.
But I think there's also an ethical dimension to consider.
Yeah.
How can companies handle layoffs in a way that's fair, transparent, and respectful of their employees?
It's a complex issue,
It
and
is.
there's no easy answer.
Nope.
But I think companies need to approach layoffs with empathy and a genuine commitment to supporting their employees through the process.
I completely agree. It's about recognizing the human impact of these decisions
Absolutely.
and taking steps to minimize the disruption and distress that layoffs can cause.
It's about treating people with dignity and respect,
Yeah.
even in difficult circumstances.
Exactly.
So we've seen Vamsi and Dilip go through this roller coaster of emotions,
Yeah.
experience the highs and lows of uncertainty, and ultimately land on their feet together. What a testament to the power of friendship and resilience.
It really is. Their story underscores the importance of human connection,
Yeah.
especially during times of transition and change.
It's a reminder that we don't have to go through tough times alone.
Exactly.
Having a supportive network can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
It's like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together.
I love that saying.
Their shared experience, it's created this unique bond.
Yeah,
And it's clear that they're both stronger for having gone through this together.
for sure.
And you know what?
What's that?
Remember that title, Whispers of Dawn in the Night?
Yeah,
It's like those whispers are transforming into a brilliant sunrise.
I like that.
Vamsi and Dilip found new opportunities.
Their friendship grew even stronger,
Yeah.
and they learned some invaluable lessons about adaptability and resilience.
They did. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always hope.
Yeah.
And sometimes the most unexpected circumstances can lead to incredible growth and new beginnings.
So as we head into the final chapter of Vamsi's story,
Okay.
I want you to think about this.
Right.
Have you ever been in a situation where you felt stuck,
Yeah.
like you had no control?
Mm-hmm.
How did you navigate that experience?
Okay. I'll think about that.
We'll be back soon to uncover the final chapter of Vamsi and Dilip's journey.
Okay, sounds good.
and see what lessons we can glean from their experience.
Welcome back to our deep dive. We're wrapping up our look at Vamsi's story, and man, it's been a wild one, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has.
All those twists and turns
Yeah.
makes you wonder, if everything happens for a reason.
It does.
We left off with Vamsi and Dilip both landing new jobs at IBM,
Right.
while over 100 of their colleagues are facing layoffs.
Yeah, it's quite a contrast.
It is, and it really makes you think about the ups and downs of, the job market.
Yeah, and the impact those changes can have on people's lives.
And adding another layer to all of this is the company's offer of a severance package.
Right, a generous one at that.
Yeah, for those who are willing to resign immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talked about the ethical and legal considerations,
Yeah.
but I'm curious, from like a business perspective,
Okay.
what do you think are some of the motivations behind a move like that?
Well, it's definitely a strategic decision,
Okay.
and there could be several factors at play.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, it could be a way to speed up the downsizing process,
Right.
Reduce the company's workforce more quickly,
Makes sense.
and avoid any potential legal battles
Okay.
or negative press.
So it's not necessarily just about, being nice.
Right. It's a business decision.
Yeah.
And like any business decision, there are multiple factors to consider.
In the end, Vamsi and Dilip, they decide to take the severance package and start their new journey at IBM.
It's a fresh start.
It is, and you know what really stood out to me in this whole story?
What that?
Was their unwavering support for each other.
Oh, yeah. They had each other's backs through thick and thin.
They started together,
Mhm.
faced uncertainty together.
Yep.
And now they're taking on this new chapter still side by side.
It's a true testament to their friendship.
It really is. And remember that title, Whispers of Dawn in the Night?
Yeah, it's coming full circle now.
It is. It's like those whispers are turning into this like brilliant sunrise.
Beautiful imagery.
Vamsi and Dilip, they found new opportunities. Their friendship got even stronger.
Yeah.
And they learned some really important lessons about, adaptability and resilience.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this.
Okay.
Who is your Dilip?
That's a good question.
Who is that person in your life who you can always count on?
Yeah.
Who celebrates your wins? Helps you navigate those tough times?
It's so important to have those people in your life.
It really is. And if you haven't found your Dilip yet, remember building those strong connections.
Yeah.
It can make all the difference.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.